Now, when you're writing in Textbroker, there's going to be a good chance that you're going to get a revision request sooner or later. Now, revision requests are when a client sends back content saying that you did something wrong and you need to fix it. And I've heard of some writers who will dump their clients immediately if they get a revision request. For the most part, this is because it'll slow them down and they won't make as much per hour if they're trying to crank out as much content as possible. However, completing a revision request goes far beyond just making money. I'm Mike with WriterSanctuary, and I'm going to go over why I do 99.9% of the revision requests that come my way. Now, before we get started, if you can hit the like button, that'll help the channel out. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always hit me up on social media or use the contact form on WriterSanctuary.com. Okay, revision requests. Now, for the most part, I would do every revision request that came my way, except for the ones that would take forever to do. Like, there's been a few where when the fourth or fifth one comes in and the client starts wording things weird, you can kind of get a sense that he's trying to screw you. At that point, yeah, definitely cancel it. But if you just get a revision request right off the bat from one of the clients on Textbroker, don't cancel it. First of all, the revision might be your fault. I'd say the vast majority of the time that I've done revision requests were because of something I did, something I wrote, or maybe the client wanted a sentence worded differently. So you're taking that 20 to 30 minute article that you just wrote and just tossing it to the window when it could have taken you like 5 minutes to fix it. Yes, I said taken. And I'm a professional writer. I'll admit, I'm a better writer than I am a talker. My point is that every revision request that comes your way isn't going to be the client's fault. And if you don't take the time to figure out what was wrong, you're not growing as a writer. Don't be arrogant and realize that not everybody's perfect. Because like I said, most revision requests I've ever done took less than 5 minutes to do. Now there was a few that would take a little bit longer, depending on what was wrong with the article, but for the most part, they were pretty quick and easy. Another reason why I would never cancel a revision request right off the bat is because it's incredibly unprofessional. I know for content mills, you want to try to be as fast as possible, but part of being successful on a content mill is actually being professional. Because that professionalism travels with you, whether you're doing a content mill or private clients. I treat every client the same no matter where they come from. Now, from the client's perspective, and I have worked on that side of it, I would blacklist a writer if they canceled an order after the first revision request, which is kind of damaging because the stuff that I used to post on Textbroker was incredibly easy to write. Now, granted, there's thousands of clients on Textbroker and it's pretty easy to replace one, but that's not the point. It shows quite a bit of arrogance and lack of professionalism when you start treating a client like you are better than they are. Because in reality, without the client, you wouldn't have a job. Now, I'm not saying you have to kiss their ass, but there is a modicum of respect that needs to be expressed to the client. And getting your feelings all hurt because they sent back a revision because of something you did doesn't really help your case of being a professional. And lastly, when you start canceling revision requests like that, it gives the clients a very bad impression of writers on the system. And once these clients start getting a bad impression of Textbroker writers, they'll take their business elsewhere. So you're not just hurting yourself or the client, you're also hurting everybody else on the system. And just because you can't write a piece of content for that client doesn't mean that somebody else can't. Yeah, when it comes to Textbroker clients and how some of the authors treat them, I get kind of twerked about it. Because then it hurts people like me who are working to improve their career, and now it's going to be more difficult because somebody else decided to be a douchebag. Now I get it. It does take time to do a revision request, especially if you don't know what you're doing or if the client has some very long, weird list of stuff that needs to be changed, because I've had to deal with that too. But one of the reasons why clients kept sending me work over and over and over is because I would do the work that needed to be done. And yeah, I've made far more money with direct orders per hour than open pool or the teams. Well, that's kind of hard to say because there's one team where I just crank out the content. So I'll be pretty close to even, but I've made far more money on direct orders. Those are the most things I've done on Textbroker. When you start creating that client interaction and they start trusting your work, then you'll see fewer revision requests because you'll learn what they want. But to just dump them right off the bat is asinine. Yeah, I can see why some people would want to do that just to try to keep the pace up so they make as much as humanly possible per hour. But I can tell you, even with doing all the revision requests that I've ever done, I still averaged about $25 an hour at my peak. So when it comes to revision requests, absolutely, I'll do them most of the time. Because there's a few times where I questioned the client. They were acting kind of weird and they needed certain things done, or they kept coming back with, okay, now change this paragraph and now change this paragraph. I'm like, something's not right here. And then that I'll cancel, and then I will publish my own piece on my blog so that they can't use it. But for the majority of the revision requests that came in, absolutely I would do them. Because sometimes it would just be something simple like, this sentence doesn't make sense, or can you add this sentence instead, or can you change this paragraph header, stuff like that. It's really easy, for the most part, easy to fix, and you can keep going. So I don't understand why a writer would treat a client like that and then take an order, write it, and then dump them because they sent a revision request. It's wrong. I guess I'm too much of a purist. I work hard to provide the best customer experience possible. I always have, no matter what business I was in. So how many revision requests have you done in Textbroker? Leave in the comment down below. I've done, out of more than almost 6,000 articles, I've done hundreds of revisions. And never once did I ever think that it was a waste of my time. Well, can't say that. And very rarely would I ever think that it was a waste of my time. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos about Textbroker, freelance writing, WordPress, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think it's going to do it for me today. I'll see you next time.